Have you ever walked back? Wait, have you ever walked back to your con hotel room to find one of your share roommates who's doing anything explicit? Of course, all the time. And sometimes I'm that person. Sometimes I'm that person. Like at that exact same con, me and Bastin were having some fun, right? And all of a sudden, this guy named Maple, he walks in, like he knocks, like he tries to open the door. The door's locked. He unlocks the door, like walks in, and like Bastin like jumps up and be like, "Hey, bud," with just a t-shirt on. We're having naughty time right now. Do you mind coming back in a bit? And he's just like, "Oh, bye." And he just walks away. Like that's as long as your room's set up for that, that's normal. Don't worry about it. Ooh, but speaking about that con, this is another story. Okay, guys. If you are ever in a position of power, don't be a pompous little shit. Okay? Do not, if you guys ever get power or like control of a situation, don't abuse it. Don't be an asshole. Like, just realize that everybody that you're interacting with are also humans. They just want to have a good time and stuff like that. Don't be an asshole, okay? Because this is a story about an asshole, okay? One of the only ones I've actually found at a con, okay? So, like I said before in my previous story about the DQ horror story, stuff like that, this story takes place at the exact same con. It takes place at Vancoufur 2022, and I was trying to find Bastin. So, like I said before, I could only go to this con for 3 hours in a day. Okay? I'd had to work for about 10 hours. Yeah. I had to work for about 10 hours, okay, previously, and then I'd take an hour bus, and I get to spend 3 hours there, and then take an hour bus back home, sleep, and then work for 10 hours. That was my, like, con rotations for that. So, on the last day that I could possibly go to this con, stuff like that, I had to collect my fursuit, I had to do stuff like that, and I had maybe an hour and a half, max, to spend with my friend, okay? So I get to the con, and I text my friends like, "Hey guys, where are you?" And they're like, "Oh, Jik, we're just about to do this furry escape room," which sounds awesome, right? Like it's an escape room set up in the hotel. It's really intricate. It's really cool, guys. If you guys ever get the chance to do the furry escape room, highly recommend. Highly recommend. But like, we're gonna be up to do this. Go get your stuff, and then we'll meet at the escape room table. And I'm like, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Like, we'll just do that. That sounds like super thing. And for all those that have subbed, followed, and all that kind of stuff, biddies, I appreciate it, okay? So, whatchamacallit? I get to the con, I collect my fursuit, I pack up, I get ready to leave, and then I go down to, the start point of the mystery room, what's it called? The escape room, right? And when I get there, there's nobody there at all. And I'm like, oh, okay, because like they have a table, but then they take you up to a random floor where the escape room is, okay? You've never done an escape room? I highly recommend it. Escape rooms are like one of my favorite things to do. Like one of my favorite things. Outside of hiking and like athletic stuff, escape rooms are like up there in gaming. Anyway, so I get there and I ask people around like, "Hey, where is the person that's in charge of this, or what's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, she's just finishing up like a room, stuff like that. They'll be down in a second." I'm like, awesome. If they're finishing up a room, my friends are going to be here in a second, right? All of a sudden, this lady comes down and she sits at the table of like the escape room. I'm like, oh, perfect, there she is. So I walk up to her and I'm like, "Oh, hey, my name's Jik. I'm looking for a couple of my friends. They're doing the escape room right now. Do you happen to know where it is so I can meet up with them?" And she's like, "Well, you have a ticket?" And I look at her like I didn't just explain the entire situation that was going on. And I'm like, "No, I don't have a ticket, but I'm looking for my friends. I only have a couple hours to be here at this con. I know they're just finishing up the escape room. If you wouldn't mind telling me what floor the escape room is on so I can wait for them at the elevator, I'd highly appreciate that." Right? Like, as I would do. Like, you guys know I wouldn't like say it in a negative way, right? I'd just be like kind, right? And she's just like, "Well, I could tell you." And she just leaves it like dead air for like a couple seconds. And I'm like, "Well, are you? Because like I would really like to find my friends and stuff like that." And she's like, "No, you're gonna just have to wait here for them." And I'm like, Are you serious? And I was like, "Are they coming back here?" And she's like, "Well, I'm not sure if they're coming back here, but they should come back here, maybe. You can just wait here." And I'm like, "Okay." So I pull out my phone, I start texting Vass and be like, hey, there's this really like nasty piece of work running this table. What floor are you on? Stuff like that. And Vass is drunk as fuck. He doesn't respond to my messages, stuff like that. And she's literally sitting there watching me with a shit-eating grin like the whole time. And I'm just like, really? This is the thing you're gonna power trip over. Being in charge of where the escape room is at a con that you're a volunteer. This is the thing you're going to power trip over. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Screw it. Fuck this thing. I like him out. So I start walking away, stuff like that, right? And as I'm walking towards what you call the elevator, stuff like that, because I'm just gonna start asking people where it is, because eventually somebody's gonna tell me, right? I see Vastin drunkenly playing video games. I'm like, the fuck? I thought you were upstairs in an escape room, and he's in a Mario Kart tournament, right? So I just walk into the room, sit down, and I start watching him play Mario Kart. He has no idea that I'm there. All of a sudden, some people start flopping on me. I start giving pets of that. Eventually, Vastin sees me. He's just like, Jik! I'm like, yo, what's up? He has no idea that this bitch was just a complete douchebag to me. But, like, you know, we're having a good time. But, yeah. Like, what a petty little thing to get, like, your claws into. Like, imagine how sad your life has to be in order to be like, yes, I can say no to someone looking for their friend at a furry con for an escape room. This is my moment. Like, what the fuck? Wow. Exactly. Wow. Like, seriously, wow. She sounds like a really enjoyable friend. Yeah, probably because that's probably why she was sitting alone at a table in the middle of the con. Straight up. But why power trip over that? I have no idea. Like, maybe she doesn't like me specifically. I don't know if she doesn't like me specifically. But, like, bruh, I don't know why she went off on that.